Hi guys, welcome to Storytime Society. This is a mini episode and we are going to get straight into the episode because that's what we do. We get down to business in the mini episodes and we give you all the best stories. So the theme of this episode is like fathers, bad fathers, worst fathers ever, weird, creepy fathers. You get it. You get it. Okay. So we are going to start with this story, and the title is My Father, Male 73, Gave His New Wife, Female 63, My Dead Mom's Wedding Ring. So my mom died several years ago, and my father remarried. When the new wife saw my dead mom's wedding ring, she decided that she should have it because the diamond was bigger than the one in her wedding ring. She is now wearing it and flaunting it to try and keep up with her rich friends. When my sister, female 51, and I, female 47, found out, we were livid and told our father that this was unacceptable. He said it's his ring and he can do whatever he wants with it, and we are being immature and rude. He doesn't even want to see our side. We are not asking for the ring, we just don't believe it should be on his new wife. How do we best handle the situation? I mean, that's crazy because I feel like as a father, when your wife dies and you have two children from that marriage, you would think that you would want to hand it down to one of your daughters and not your wife. Like, I just feel like I think it's disrespectful because you have two daughters that are connected to your wife, and that is a sentimental item that could mean a lot, and it could be like an heirloom that could be passed down in the family, but instead you're giving it to your wife and like, here, take this from my, like, does your late wife mean nothing to you? Like, that's crazy to me. um how do we best handle the situation? Obviously they're asking for advice, but it's like, I don't even know how you best handle that, especially after you already talk to him about it and be like, that's really messed up. You should try to see our side about it. I think honestly, maybe just take a step back from your relationship and let it marinate and let him realize like that's kind of fucked up to do, and he needs to think about how that would affect you guys and how it should be affecting him, because why is he just acting so nonchalant about it? Also, not to mention, he's not the only one in the wrong here. The new wife is also in the wrong here, because if that were me, if I were the new wife, I would never, ever, ever want that. I would never want to take that, first of all. And I think if my husband wanted to give me that ring, I think that would be a red flag for me. I'd be like, wait, what? Like, your wife died. Wouldn't you want to keep that or give it to one of your daughters? Because it's a very meaningful thing. It's a very meaningful item. Like, why would you want to give that to me as if I'm replacing your wife? Like, that's not the case here, you know? So, also to be flaunting it because it's the diamond is bigger is crazy. Okay, let's read some comments. I lost my mom years ago, and she had a beautiful sapphire ring my dad gave her. She never took that ring off. She left it to me. 3 months after she passed, my father asked me for it back to give to his new girlfriend he started dating. I told him no. I'm so sorry. I know how hurtful this feels. Oh, also, not to mention that that is not, I think that's not your ring. I think that's your wife's ring, your late wife, because you gave that to her, and that was a gift, and that was the, I feel like once you're married and you, especially if you died, it's not like they got divorced and they're like, here, take the ring. This was your late wife's ring. That's not your ring. You bought it? Yeah, okay, whatever. But that's your late wife's ring. That was a gift you gave to her, which makes it hers, in my opinion. Okay? Someone said a very similar thing happened to me a couple of months after losing my mom. Dad asked for my grandma's mom's mom engagement ring back to use for his new girlfriend. I wish this was the worst thing that he did during this time. What's wrong with fathers? What's wrong with men? What is wrong with you? Do you have no remorse? Do you have no empathy? It scares me sometimes because the lack of empathy that I feel like some men and a lot of men have is genuinely so scary for me. It's very scary. Someone said, I married a man who was widowed. The very last thing I would want is to wear her wedding ring. That's just wrong for so many reasons. That said, your dad has decided this is okay, so you can be like Elsa and let it go, or be like me and make snarky comments at every opportunity. Or just say bye to your dad. I always act like that's the easiest thing to do. Like, just say bye to your dad. Just cut him off. Obviously, that's not an easy thing to do, and I'm not saying that lightly or anything, but it's just crazy to me that, like, people like this exist and that he can be so heartless and not even see it from your guys' side. Like, you guys lost your mom. He lost his wife, but you guys lost your mother. Your mother. And he can't even see it from your side and see why this would affect you. It's crazy to me. And it's really sad, and I'm so sorry. All right, the next story is on True Off My Chest, and the title is I Think My Stepdad is Attracted to Me. My stepdad has been in my life since I was 7. I have always had issues with him, but since I was about 16, there's been more instances that made me extremely uncomfortable. Like when I was newly 16, I was just bleaching my hair, and he made jokes about it being cum on my face. I thought I caught him looking at my chest a few times back then too, but I brushed it off. Now that I'm almost 18, there's been more stuff, and I don't know what to do. I was showing my mom my new pants recently, and he was very obviously staring at my ass. And a week ago, I gave him batteries for my baby brother's toy because what I had for them broke, and he made several unprompted comments about me being rough and aggressive with sex toys. He also has made comments about them when I jokingly call my birth control my anti baby pill in conversation with my mother, he even wasn't a part of. I feel like I'm insane, but there's just been so much stuff like this. I want to tell my mom, but I doubt she'll believe me. I feel so sick. Update. I ended up talking to my mom about the worst comments he's made that she wasn't there for. I can't bring myself to tell her about the looking, at least not right now, and she said that she'd talk to him. Her reaction was a lot more mild than I'd hoped, but it's better than her brushing it off entirely. If it doesn't stop, I will probably tell my actual dad. He's in the picture, he just lives an hour away, who would probably go apeshit. I say you tell your dad about it. Don't even let your mom make a fool and talk to him about it. Why are you going to talk to him about it? Because what? Why are you going to talk to him about it? What is there to say? What is there to say? I'd be like, yeah, I'll tell him what he's doing is wrong. I'm not going to talk to him. I'm not going to be like, explain yourself. No, I'd be like, why the fuck are you doing that, you creep? And then yeah, he can explain himself, but I'm probably going to be yelling at him in the meantime because that's actually insane. So, you definitely need your dad to back you up on this because God knows if you think that your mom isn't going to believe you, like previous to the update, she said that her mom might not believe her. That's a bad sign because if you think that your mom's not going to believe you about that, that is so bad and just such a red flag because obviously your mom should believe you about that and she should be putting into action something. I don't know what. Don't ask me what because I don't know. But something needs to happen here, right? Okay. Someone commented and said, old enough to be your dad, so I will give you some advice. I'll give you some dad advice. This shit stops now. He is a parental figure and he has the responsibility of one. This would be super inappropriate. If he said this to a young lady friend of yours, not cool. If my daughter told me that her stepdad said that it looked like she had cum on her face, you would all see me on fight corn / public freakout. I would tell your mom and stepdad together. Step douche is saying creepy things and it's 2023. It stops today. If they say that he was just kidding or you're too sensitive, you reply, that's not how my feelings work. They are my feelings. I don't like sex jokes from an old man. It's creepy. If you said that shit to me at my job and you were a customer, you would be asked to leave. Being family doesn't give him the right to say anything at all. When my teen daughter has friends over in the pool, guess what? I don't go out there and talk to them. You know why? Because I'm 100 years old and they are wearing swimsuits. Nothing to talk about. Point is, he needs to be the adult in the situation. Also explain to him, someday you will have kids. Is he going to deny these stories if you tell him? Do you know his mom or sister? What do they think? Maybe they are creeps too, or maybe they will tell him to shut the fuck up. I'm heated. Sorry you have to go through this. Not that because I'm 100 years old and they're in swimsuits. It's hilarious. Someone said next time he makes a joke, say, "That's gross. Why would you say that?" And make him explain why being gross is funny. Make him uncomfortable. I mean, if anyone said that something looked like cum on my face, I think that's creepy. Unless it was like, I don't know, I guess my boyfriend, but like, I don't know why he would say that. I would be like, what? Or I guess my friend, like if we're making a joke or something. But like, if it was an adult, like any adult saying that, even if it was like your mom or your mom's girlfriend, like your mom, it just, that's creepy. What do you mean? No, goodbye. I'm scared. Okay. So, I mean, I really hope that something happened there, but we are going to move on to the next story. And it is titled, Am I the Asshole for Blowing Up at My Father After He Tried to Set Me Up with His Boss's Son? So, I, a 27 female, have been dating my boyfriend, Jake, 29 male, for almost a year now. And honestly, I've never been happier in a relationship. He's smart, kind, works his ass off running his own business, and we just get each other. My dad, though, he has never liked him. At first, I thought it was just normal, overprotective dad stuff, but over time, it became clear it was something deeper. He thinks Jake isn't established enough, whatever the hell that means. He's made comments about how Jake doesn't come from the right crowd and how he's not someone who can secure my future. Mind you, I have a great job. I make my own money. I don't need a man to secure anything for me. Anyway, my dad invited me over for dinner last weekend, and I thought maybe he was finally coming around. But nope. I barely sat down before he starts in on how I could do better and how he just wants the best for me. Then he drops the real reason he asked me to come over. He wants me to meet his boss's son, Andrew, 30 male. Apparently, they've been talking about how Andrew is looking for a wife, and my dad, being the absolute mastermind that he is, decided that I would be the perfect candidate. I literally laughed because I thought he was joking. He wasn't. He starts going on about how Andrew comes from old money and how he's on track to take over the family business and that I'd have a better life with him. I just sat there in shock for a second before I asked him if he was serious right now. He was. I told him I have a good life. I love Jake, and I'm not some effing chess piece that he can move around for his own benefit. He starts getting mad, saying that I'm being stubborn and immature, and that I'll regret not at least keeping my options open. That's when I snapped. I told him he was being ridiculous and that I'm not some business deal he gets to negotiate. Things got really heated and I ended up just leaving before dinner even started. Now he's playing the victim, saying that he was just looking out for my future and that I disrespected him by yelling. Am I the asshole for losing it on him? Well, obviously, is a skewed perception of what being happy in life really is. Like, having a better life isn't having someone with more money, it's having someone that you're happy with, and that if you are struggling, you can still be happy with and enjoy life with, and you can figure it out together. And, like, obviously, would I love to be marrying someone with old money that was also nice and kind and that I loved? Yes, of course. Are you kidding me? Like, of course, I would love to have money. I mean, if people say that money doesn't buy happiness, like, maybe it doesn't buy happiness, but it definitely takes care of a lot of problems. And then it definitely takes off a lot of stress as well, because the solution for so many things is money. And if you have more money, you can figure out a lot more things and you can be less worried about a lot more things. So, obviously, that would be great. But if it were, I was picking between someone that I didn't know at all, that I've never met, and he has a lot of money, or my current boyfriend who makes good money. Obviously, he's not a rich billionaire and he's not coming from old money, but he's kind, he's funny, he treats me amazing, he's the best person ever. He's so funny, he makes me laugh, he makes me so happy every day. He literally is like the best person ever. Yeah, I'm going to choose my boyfriend. Thank you very much, because I don't need to go find out what that's all about. Like, hopefully this dad can start to realize, or I don't know, I guess it's just like internalized misogyny, honestly, just to think in the first place that your daughter needs a man to like take care of her and to make her life better and all of that. But hopefully he'll realize. But clearly, I don't know, is he even still with your mom? Like, does he have a healthy, happy relationship? Because I would suggest not taking advice from someone that you wouldn't switch places with, because I would never take advice from someone that, like, obviously, I feel like it's pretty common sense. If someone doesn't have a healthy relationship and they're trying to give you advice, advice not taken. Sorry. Like, I'm not going to say that to you. And, I'll nod my head and say thank you. But if you don't have something that I would want to take your place in, then why would I take your advice? Why would I be like, you have a failed marriage, which obviously that's really sad. And there's many reasons why that failed marriage can happen. But if you're giving me advice about how to be in a loving relationship when you don't even have one yourself, probably not going to take that advice, because I'd rather not get advice. Like, I mean, obviously, if you can tell me how not to ruin my marriage because you can recognize and self reflect on the way that your marriage was ruined, then yeah, I'll take that advice for sure. I'll take the advice like that comes from experience of you going through a divorce or a tumultuous relationship and how to not go through that. But that's more so saying, like, this is how this is how my relationship fell apart, so don't do these things, rather than saying, like, oh, you want to be in a happy relationship? Okay, well, my relationship fell apart, so let me tell you how to be in a happy relationship. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know. I feel like I can give a little bit of advice, but I also am so young, so I feel like I can't even give a lot that much advice. Like, I'm just in a relationship. I'm not engaged, I'm not married. So, I feel like I don't even have that much experience with relationships. I can obviously speak on like my breakups and how I learned from those and stuff. And then like I can kind of, I guess, say how me and my boyfriend are like in a healthy relationship. And but at the same time, I feel like our my relationship just comes very naturally. It's just very naturally healthy. And I think that just comes with the partner that I picked. Like, just him being a very kind, very slow to anger, very calm, logical, nice person is a huge thing. And also us like matching on our love languages, like him being very good at showing me love in the way that I want to be loved is a huge thing as well. So, I don't know. I couldn't even say, I feel like, what, I don't even know what my advice would be other than choose someone that is nice and kind and someone that you would want to be more like, almost. Like, I feel like someone that you're inspired by and that you like look up to in the ways that I like. Sometimes when I'm with my boyfriend and I'm like so anxious about something, because I get anxious about everything. I'm thinking worst case scenario for everything. And he's like, oh, I wasn't even worried about that. It's going to be totally fine. That brings me down 25 notches. Like, and I'm always thinking in my head, like, I wish I was more like you in that aspect. And so I feel like pick a partner that you would want to be more like, and that motivates you and inspires you to be more kind, more calm, more, you know, gentle, and yeah, in ways that you admire them. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. But, anyways, that is the end of Storytime Society mini episode. Okay, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know how you guys actually. I've been doing these mini episodes for a while now, I feel like, so I would actually love to know if you guys like the mini episodes, because I obviously I try to do these mini episodes for people that really just like the Reddit stories, that really just want to hear the Reddit stories with like a little bit of commentary and like the comments that are on the Reddit threads and stuff. And I leave less of like my own personal stuff out of it. Usually in the long episodes is where I like chat and I also give advice and all that. So let me know. Obviously I think there are people that probably like the mini episodes because they don't care as much about my personal life, but then I know that there are people that like the longer episodes because they do care about my personal life and they want to hear about it, which obviously I love you because you care about me, I care about you. So, love you so much for that. And yeah, so let me know. Let me know. Obviously, like, I could make them a little bit longer, but since they're mini, it's like kind of have to make them shorter. You know what I mean? Even though I do 3 stories, I just try to I try to pick shorter stories usually, and I try to say a little bit less than I would in a long episode, if that makes sense. But anyways, that's besides the point. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I love you guys. And like, comment, subscribe, please. Thank you so much. Bye. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.